And for more on China's antitrust law, we are joined live from Beijing by Professor Ding Yifan. He's the Deputy Director of the Institute of World Development under the State Council's Research Center. Professor, thanks for joining us.
Hi.
I want to begin by asking you about this law. Is it an example of growing hostility against foreign businesses, or is it a more regulated market in China that this shows?
Oh, personally, I don't think this shows some hostility toward foreign business in China. On the contrary, China is always welcoming foreign direct investment in China. But to some extent, China has to put some order into its market, especially with regard to super profits gained by not only foreign firms, but also by some big state-owned enterprises. That's why, to some extent, Chinese government, in order to force more competition in Chinese market, force those big firms to give up their monopolistic behavior in Chinese markets. So the antitrust law is focused on forcing those big firms to abandon their monopolistic behavior.
But you heard what we said about this survey. I think you're aware of it, the U.S.-China Business Council survey showing that nearly 90% of the U.S. firms in that survey are worried that the law could be used to unfairly target them. How do you tell them not to be afraid?
Oh, we should know that Chinese government should do more communication works to tell them how to deal with this new antitrust campaign to some extent. But we should say that China have learned all this experience from the United States, and also from the European Union. And for quite a long time, European Union and the United States were in dispute over these antitrust laws of anti-monopolistic behavior in both markets. So China was a later developer, so China have learned a lot after you, and then now Chinese government wanted to put more order into Chinese market, so Chinese government is behaving a little bit like you.
You talk about increased communication from the Chinese government. What would that look like? Does it appear to you that there's just simply some confusion here around what the rules are and what they mean?
Oh, there might be some confusion among those foreign business circles here in China. But mostly I think that always because those foreign or those multinational companies used to benefit a lot from Chinese market and from the Chinese government not abandoning them to this kind of antitrust behavior. So as they used to benefit from those lines part of Chinese market, so they won't give up so much so easily to Chinese government's recontrol of the market behavior.
Professor, this isn't the only point of friction between China and the United States and its companies. The Chinese companies are also involved in the anti-graft campaign in China. The hacking dispute between the two countries also affects high-tech companies' operation. Should multinationals simply just get prepared for a change of business environment in China?
To some extent, they should be prepared for Chinese anti-graft campaign, also for all this investigation over business model and business behavior in Chinese market. But I don't think that the hacking problem is emerged because of anti-graft campaign. The hacking dispute between China and the United States is mainly stemmed from the Snowden scandal. Snowden revealed a lot of things, especially electronic equipment and IT equipment sold to China by U.S. companies that could, to some extent, it hide some problems that give the Chinese government a warning that Chinese government wanted to be sure that in the future those electronic and IT firms won't sell to China equipment that could harm eventually China's national security.
Sure. Well, we'll have to leave it there for now, Professor Ding Yifan. Thank you so much for coming in.